Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and people. Welcome to episode 13 of MNW In A Nutshell, which for the Warzone series is episode 7. Warzone hosted on twitch.tv/Dr. Caliban. The show we are discussing this evening is dated Saturday the 2nd of October 2021 Pacific Daylight Time. Your host of MNW In A Nutshell, MNW's resident statistician and bookkeeper, Carla Bader from Victoria, Australia. Now, before we go any further, I just want to explain, as this might be the first time the public gets a notification for these videos, I am temporarily taking over a recap series which originally belongs to the series of Firing Line. Firing Line is on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, but when it returns, it is going to be hosted on twitch.tv/storytellers. But until that happens, I am doing these YouTube recaps. If any of you are curious to know more of what MNW is about, please go to the previous video of Flashbang episode 6, and there is a more detailed explanation on what we do as a community there. But we are mainly focused on wrestling, and this is Flashbang's sister wrestling show, MNW Warzone. And without further ado, here is the first event for Warzone on Saturday, the 2nd of October 2021 Pacific Daylight Time. We have an in-ring promo from, well, we've seen Seth Jackson on Flashbang in the past. It looks like something's happening on Warzone with him now. So, Seth Jackson, originally from APS, comes to Warzone's ring and he says to us, "It is the bringer of justice, Seth Jackson. He's not here because he's lost. He's here to help out our general manager, Mr. Jerry Aldini, with all the spooky, eldritch weirdos of Warzone. There are so many cool people on Warzone, he thinks, but also so many people that have violated the rules and abused the rules with tricks and magic." Seth Jackson told Mr. Davis over on Flashbang that he quit APS. He says that if you want something done, you gotta do it your damn self. You know, some people don't get it, such as that Wilson asshole. Seth Jackson is going to start his investigation, his so-called investigation, tonight. So from what I hear, Seth Jackson has been officially drafted onto Warzone. And just a little bit of a comment on his out-of-character identity. He has voice actor Corporal Canada, who voiced his own in-ring promo. That's amazing, because usually the show host voices the promos, but yeah, this Corporal Canada guy has created a great atmosphere for his character Seth Jackson, and we will be hearing more of him in future weeks. I must also comment that Corporal Canada, if you're watching Warzone Live, was the co-commentator this week. And now we will move on to the next event, which is our 8-man showcase match. Originally, I'm lost for words, too much talking, invented by Flashbang's own Mr. Rabbit. But for this Warzone showcase, we have Carnival of the Hot Clown Hotline, the faction Conquest Bloodline, coming in 8th place. We've got one of the three kings, Strongman Bell, also one half of the Bell Bros, coming in 7th place. We have, recently returned from his trip to, Florida, Mr. Butler, coming in 6th place. We have mysterious Mr. Enigma, who's never spoken a word since his inception on Warzone. He's come in 5th place. We have our half-human, half-alien Leonid Sanchez coming in 4th place. We have newly returned, he's a new member of Omega Club from what I've heard. He's being trained up after the guidance of manager Callie and fellow Alpha Kong and Whitney Lee. In this match, it is Gunnar Birch coming in 3rd place. And then we have our newly dressed up Hightower from Chained Hell. He used to be Convict 311. Hightower coming in second place. And then there's a reason these 8th entrants are always so surprising or they're so dangerous. We have our renowned scientist, Dr. Grimm, coming in first place. And I believe it was either a mandible claw or some poison claw that he won by. For anybody who may not know, Dr. Grimm is also a part of the faction, the Murder Cave. So yes, Dr. Grimm takes out the win with a tap in this Elimination Falls Count Anywhere showcase match. And I believe I keep track of the wins here, so this is Dr. Grimm's first showcase win since the inception of these on Warzone. Next up, we have our second promo. It is in the ring again. Sir Uncle Dunk has come back from his trip to Disney World and I guess shutting the kids out of the parks and whatever else that capitalist bugger has been doing. So in this promo, Sir Uncle Dunk says, has asked, have we missed him while he was gone? He is at the top. He is better than everyone, including Ozzy Turan of VIP. He has to question why everyone was fighting so hard in the tournament to face him. He understands Ozzy Turan's reasons. And then he says about Wilson, son of Will, that was an effort, but it was not a valiant effort. And then regarding competitor Defunk, his view was amusing. And now on to Lady Boots, who we know will be facing Sir Uncle Dunk for the Nexus Titan Championship at Apocalypse, which is this week. But about Lady Boots, Sir Uncle Dunk says he is an equal opportunity type. There is no difference in, genders to him. If you're a female wrestler, you'll do just as well as a male wrestler. He says to Lady Boots to bring her kicks, her hip strikes, her stylos. It won't matter. In the end, Sir Uncle Dunk will prevail with skill and connection. And then we have our first audio promo of the afternoon from Ignacio Cervantes, the social outcast Lucha, and in these, Ignacio's promos seem to get weirder and weirder by the week. I wrote this one down word for word because it was quite short, so let's hear, in my voice, what Ignacio had to say for himself this week. He says, "It feels like too long. I get anxiety because I love to fight. Once I start thinking about being anxious, I get more anxious. It just compounds exponentially and I start doing super crazy shit like this. Born in a web of lies against the righteous, I choose to fight. You feel I'm going to make this rhyme? Stuff you. Let there be Cervantes." And that is Ignacio Cervantes' audio promo for this week. But next up, we have another match, our second match of the afternoon, a singles match against rookies Power Surge and Ignacio Cervantes. Once again, they're both trying to make a name for themselves. I guess Ignacio trying to get his name up a bit more. And then Power Surge, trying to get his own identity and not so much in the shadows of Trashman Jones and Depth Charge and Bartender. So in this one, Power Surge manages to prove himself with the win against Ignacio Cervantes with a pinfall. And then we have another in-ring promo by our Siberian comrade, Nice Ice. And with this, Nice Ice comes to us with a heavy heart. He says he was our Big Oof champion for over a year and he stood for the best in MNW. He has made friends with many wrestlers in the back, including Maximilian Thunder Thighs. Nice Ice hoped he could defeat Maximilian Thunder Thighs and get the answers we all deserve, but he couldn't. Nice Ice realizes he may have lost something deep within himself and that he must find it again. He is going to take what he calls a sabbatical, so a bit of a break, and go back to his home of Siberia to discover the Nice Ice within, the fire that drove him. He has mixed feelings. He does not like leaving his tag team partner Lucken in MNW by himself, but Nice Ice feels that this is what is right for him. So we'll be seeing you soon, Nice Ice. Gone now, but not forever. Or what is that quote? Bye now, not forever. And then we have a singles match, our third match of the afternoon. We have the other member of Eastern Bloc Party, Lucken, against the delinquent Nakano Kirishima. And in this one, Lucken has a win against Nakano with a pinfall. So I'm sure Lucken will do okay without Nice Ice by his side for a bit. And I guess we'll get to see Lucken in a bit more of a singles run. Or perhaps if he, partners up with anybody else for the time being. Like, not forever, but obviously just if there are some tag team bouts with him. Or maybe we'll see Lucken in some multi-man events. And with Nakano, obviously, we'll have some more developments with him and where his stories go. I've forgotten which character it was, but Caliban, as, the booker, says he has some story ideas for Nakano. Or some character which I have forgotten. Sorry there. So then we have our second audio promo from somebody we haven't heard from in a while, let alone seen. One half of the Toxic Wastelanders, who the winner of the tag team tournament will be facing at Apocalypse. These guys are our tag team champions, and here is one half, Gorewheel. In the audio promo, Gorewheel is saying, well, he is out in the Florida Everglades. Why is he there instead of terrorizing a certain theme park or helping out his pal, the Revenant? The answer is, because he got hobbies of his own. One of them is hunting. And he says he's currently hunting the most dangerous, elusive, and extremely high Florida Smethus gatoris, or in English, a git named Crocvor. We may remember them as a former partner to the fellow HR pillar registered Anon. Gorewheel has been tracking this Crocvor git down for nearly a week. He has been real sneaky, but thanks to setting up a trap with the bait of a hat signed by Dale Earnhardt Sr., he can finally catch and crump this git. And then we hear the trap going off, but Crocvor isn't there and neither is that hat. Crocvor is a clever git. Gorewheel immediately then gets tackled without notice and sounds of a brawl are heard. He says, well, he is struggling to tune in next time when him and Revenant return to their stomping ground back at the arena. And as we know, that is going to be this coming week, October the 9th, Pacific Daylight Time, 12 p.m. So we have our next event now, an in-ring promo by Sam Jax, and then later on joined once again by Seth Jackson. So to start off with, Sam Jax of the Conquest Bloodline says he does not need to introduce himself. Everybody should know who he is. But for those who don't, I have introduced him in this recap. You will learn more about him in the show, but in this promo, Sam Jax says we should know who our future leader is going to be. He says to Sir Uncle Dunk that the Nexus Titan Championship will be coming home to the Conquest Bloodline, to Lady Boots, and that they shall have the first taste of gold. Now, when will Sam Jax cash his money in the bank for the World Champ? Yes, we mustn't forget that Sam Jax is the current holder of Money in the Bank. And the way that Money in the Bank works is that you can cash it into any title you like at any time. I thought it was any title except the World Heavyweight Championship, but I think that can happen because I remember the instance with Justice Jake and I think it was Vince Smoke Sanji. And I have to look at my books to get a more accurate recall of that event. But for now, back to Sam Jax's promo. So when is he going to cash in that Money in the Bank? Well, we don't know yet because Seth Jackson enters the ring and Seth, in his very entertaining voice, says, "Hello, Sam Jax, if that's even your real name. I'll leave the voice acting to Canada. He's much better than I am." But Seth Jackson said there's no way to tell your real name because he's never seen Sam Jax's ID. But there better not be any shenanigans with him. He better keep it clean and natural. And Sam Jax says he has been nothing but straightforward. with the intent of his Money in the Bank briefcase. And Seth goes, well, he isn't with APS anymore. This is the Jackson investigation firm, aka Jif. And while we're on the topic of Jif, apparently it's something about peanut butter in the United States, but in Australia, Jif is the label of a cleaning product. So could we joke and surmise that Seth Jackson is here to clean up the place with some Jif? Back to the promo, and Sam Jax won't need to use his powers, just his prowess. Because obviously, you know, Seth Jackson was going to call him out for his shenanigans. Seth says he will stop any nonsense with a lot of asses. I couldn't recall how many times he said ass. It was, I will kick your ass, land you onto your ass, off your ass. I will just leave it there before it gets too weird. Next, we have our fourth match of the afternoon, a singles match. Now, this is just a little bit of action because I guess this week, I'm used to saying next week, but it's going to be this week when this video goes up. The Outlaws are going to go against a mystery tag team, and if they lose that match, they won't be able to challenge for any gold until the next Multivania, which is July next year. But if the Outlaws pull off any shenanigans before Apocalypse, not only will they not be allowed to compete for any gold, but they will also be suspended from Warzone. Now, the Outlaws are currently suspended from Flashbang, so if they are suspended from Warzone, I guess that's it for their two main show career, and who knows what would happen. So we're keeping things clean for now. CJR Killer versus a member of High Voltage, actually the leader of High Voltage, Aiden Zero. And in this match, CJR Killer picks up the win against Aiden Zero with a pinfall. Next up, we have an audio promo by Maximilian Thunderthighs, who I still don't understand what's going on with him. He's being very secretive in his behaviour. One minute he's here, next minute he's there. He's saying something about VIP. Why is he supporting VIP? I have no clue. Here is a song he made about VIP. He goes, VIP, VIP, they're the best, it's guarantee. Lowborns act like they're all mad, but we beat them, then they're sad. Come on, common Warzone, take a seat. Learn your place and no defeat. You all will wait and see and come to bend the knee to VIP, VIP, yes, VIP. And Maximilian Thunderthigh says he worked a whole 10 minutes on that piece. If anybody's got a problem, you got to come out and make Max talk. Nice Ice tried that and he lost. And that's followed up by a singles match, our fifth match of the afternoon. The Investigator, Papusa Monkey, PI versus Maximilian Thunderthighs himself. And in this case, Max won that match against Papusa with a win, with a pinfall. And I must state that Max hasn't lost any matches yet, but as soon as he loses a match, apparently there's some letter he's going to give out that reveals his secrets. So, yeah, Brass and Eldini, I say let's just keep pushing Max until he can't do it no more. But for now, our next event, an audio promo by one half of the O-Lord's Sasquatch Wing. His other half, Raphael Sampson, will be facing Bart Ender for the Big Oof title, but more on that later. The audio promo by Sasquatch Wing. He says he can't stand Max's singing. If Max wants a fight, he has to ask, not sing like a singing wallfish with no battery. Singing makes Sasquatch want to whack Max's jaw with full force, and nobody wants to be whacked with full force. Does Max want to fight, or will Sasquatch Wing be going away from him like Buck Bumble? I don't know what the ending means there, but I will just say now that one proud sponsor of MNW is Sasquatch Wing Roast Coffee, so come buy your roast coffee today. Discount code Sasquatch 2021 for 50 cents off. All right, next, we have our sixth match of the afternoon, a singles match. We have Trice of Legion, which is Kane's faction, because as we know, Kane has had a little bit of beef with XR Kun lately. XR Kun trying to get Kane to become his apprentice, but because Kane won that match, that didn't happen. So now Trice is going up against the Sith Lord XR Kun. And we don't see it here, but there was an intrusion in the middle of the match, or it was more towards the first half. But if it's not the beginning or the end, I say it's the middle. And strangely, Earl King West attacked XR, but they're both heels. None of us understand why that happened, but then if XR Kun won, then obviously he was able to overcome that. And from that result, next week, it'll be Kane versus XR Kun at Apocalypse. I am not sure what the winning conditions are going to be, whether something happens, but we will find out on October the 9th. Next up, we have an in-ring promo from our current Big Oof champion of Nakama Worldwide, Bart Ender. And in this promo, Bart says he is not here to sing the praises of himself or his friends, but he is here to sing the praises of his opponent, Raphael Sampson, who we said before was the other half of the O-Lords. Raphael Sampson has never held gold before, in the unfortunacy of himself as well as all the fans at MNW. Bart Ender will uphold his traditions by giving it his all, trying his best and training very hard. Raphael Sampson deserves Bart Ender's best, which will be what Bart Ender will give him. He does hope that Raphael will give his best as well. Just because Bart Ender respects him and likes him doesn't mean he'll make it any easier for him. And he wants the same courtesy back. He says, when you fight an opponent you respect, it's not only fun, but it's also challenging. This is something, the match at Apocalypse, that Bart Ender is excited for. And then we have an audio promo by our current World Heavyweight Champion who obtained that title at the main event of Multivania Night 2. It is our leader of the main event Mex.exe, aka Meme, one half of the Robros and Undisputed Future, Zacko Duo. Sorry about the long introduction there. I know you like getting to the point. So here is the promo. Have we all missed the real Zacko Duo speaking to us all? There is so much to cover, but like everybody else, he has rules to follow. He says that next week is his first title defense since Multivania 5. He couldn't be more excited to defend under new management. And what better opponent than Grizzly Adams of the Murder Cave, who took the title from the company face Trashman Jones, this company face who has now faded away in our new era. Zacko Duo is the new face of MNW, the Grand Slam champion, the ace. He says time repeats itself, but he won't walk. Grizzly won't walk away with gold this time. Zacko will. Grizzly may be in the Murder Cave, but Zacko Duo is deadlier than all four of them combined. He doesn't have to threaten any staff or their family members to prove that he is dangerous. Zacko will turn Grizzly Adams into a nice new rug for Jerry Aldini's office. Nice gift, but at what cost? Next up, we have an audio promo, firstly by Jack Abbott, the Scorpion of Shoot Nation, responded to in a separate audio promo by R. Sawyer of Meme. In Jack Abbott's portion of the promo, he says, it is a small frustration that Jack Abbott and Devon have been viewed a lot as underdogs. Yes, they are not established and only recently returned to active competition, but this is still draining to them, a draining feeling. Though, the best advantage that they have is that their opponent underestimates their abilities. No doubt Meme is dumb enough to do so, to underestimate their abilities, but Conquest Bloodline did. Meme show they know how to win fights, but then Meme are arrogant, which is a window for Jack Abbott and Devon to take advantage of. They're both tougher, stronger, and more skilled than people expect, and they say that whenever there's an opening, they will take that opening with a relentless pursuit. When you see Shoot Nation, they always come to fight. And then that is responded to by R. Sawyer of Meme, who said that when Shoot Nation eliminated the Conquest Bloodline, they earned Malice's ire. When Shoot Nation eliminated Eastern Bloc Party, they earned Sawyer's curiosity. And when Shoot Nation eliminated Omega Club, they gained Meme's attention. Sawyer says that Shoot Nation has never fought Meme before, or if they did, it was simply not worth noting in the memory banks. A little bit of shoot therapy about Shoot Nation. Shoot Nation is sponsored by Lowe's, but why? Why are they sponsored by Lowe's? Is it because they've got inferior material, inferior skill, and inferior training? And then a second point is that Shoot Nation at one point had Ginger Boy come to manage them. Is Ginger Boy so special just because he's from London? R. Sawyer is also from London, and R. Sawyer doesn't need the London dungeon to keep people in lockdown. He has Malice the Vehicular Incident, who will clog up heaps of traffic every single day without a problem. Meme are going to Apocalypse, and they are going to face the Toxic Wastelanders over Shoot Nation's broken bodies. And that leads up to the main event of the afternoon, our final round of the tag team tournament. Whoever wins this match will be going on to face the champions, the Toxic Wastelanders, later on this week at Apocalypse. So as we see here, Devon and Jack Abbott of Shoot Nation going up against R. Sawyer and Malice of Meme, accompanied by their faction leader and world champion, that's right, you heard it, world champion, Zacho Duo. But that isn't enough, as Shoot Nation picks up the win, with Devon pinning R. Sawyer to move on to facing the Toxic Wastelanders. So yes, Shoot Nation has really come a long way and I guess shown themselves worthy, but the thing is, it's not all over until they win those tag belts. And that is the end of the events for Saturday afternoon Warzone, the 2nd of October 2021, Pacific Daylight Time. Because I am your bookkeeper and statistician, I also have some extra mathematical summaries. The length of this show was 2 hours, 13 minutes and 10 seconds. And we will now move on to our segment summary. This afternoon we had 7 matches, 11 promos, and there were no backstage encounters. Wait a minute, I just got to check. Yeah, no, there weren't any backstage encounters. Yeah, so that makes for a total of 18 events. If you subtract 6 audio promos, that is a produced amount of 12 events. Now, usually I have my own drawn up card at the end, but I thought, look at this card that fellow MNW community member Matrix has made. He makes all the graphics these days. If you catch the MNW YouTube, you can see thumbnails made by him, banners made by him, and here we can also see promotional cards made by him. I have just added a little bit of additional text so it is easier to read, but here we will go through the card for what is going to be on the pay-per-view this Saturday, October the 9th, Pacific Daylight Time. So if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, it might be October the 10th for you, or it might, early in the morning or something. And it is going to be on twitch.tv/Dr. Caliban. So some of the matches we have are Kane and... I made a mistake. It's not Kane and XR Kun at the pay-per-view. It is going to be Kane versus Earl King West. That's right, Kane and XR Kun already had their match, and now it is Earl King West that is interested in him. So for anybody laughing at me about my prior mistake, I corrected it. Kane versus Earl King West. And then we also have Burnout Vaughn versus Vince Smoke Sanji. If Burnout wins the match, Vince Smoke has to see the doctor that Burnout has seen before, and he has to get help. And then we also have our superhero of the Sentinels, Daverman, versus VIP's top heel, top authority, Ozzy Turan. Will Daverman put an end to his tyranny, or will Ozzy Turan keep, I guess, wrecking those who say no to his reign? And then we also have our singles match, a Hell in a Cell, Beowulf versus Sergeant Major Payne. And then we have our mysterious tag team match. We have the Outlaws against a mysterious tag team, mysterious stipulations. And then we move on to our championship matches. For our Warpgate Hardcore Championship, we have our champ, Dagoric, defending against the Allfather Arkov, who has caused quite a few issues in the past in regards to the Inquisition and why Dagoric was in jail for so long. And then with the winner of the Nexus Titan Championship tournament, we have Sir Unklydunk defending against that winner, the, I guess, second leader of the Conquest Bloodline, our Lady Boots. And then we have the Big Oof title defense. There were 2 fatal 4-way matches and then a singles match. The winner of that is Raphael Sampson of the O-Lords, who will be trying to obtain the title from our current champion, Bart Ender. We have our tag team title match. The winner of the tag team tournament, Shoot Nation, Jack Abbott and Devon, going up against the Revenant and Gorewheel of the Toxic Wastelanders, who are our current tag team champs. And then what I say will be our main event is our World Heavyweight Champion, Zacho Duo, defending against the Murder Cave's Grizzly Adams. Will Grizzly Adams reign triumphant, giving Zacho a short reign, or will Grizzly be turned into that rug for Jerry Aldini's office? Find out on Saturday, October the 9th, 2021, Pacific Daylight Time, 12 o'clock in their time zone on twitch.tv/Dr. Caliban. Once again, post a credit to Matrix as well as every other MNW graphic you see if you are a part of that community. This has been Carla Bader for MNW In A Nutshell. Wherever you are in the world, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and thank you.